Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter and captain of the ship.
Hey, this is James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl.
Oops. Hi, this is Levalithana. Seshazar and Wild Ave. An elven wild mage. That's it.
Yes. Introducing the underweight mechanical malpractice maneuver, also known as Triple M, weighing anywhere from 96 pounds to as little as 19, and a height of 14'11" to as little as just under 1. But, I mean, that's really small. Triple M hails from the shanty back alleys of Lethenspire. But for those online, he is the Elven Mischiefmaker thief multi-class. And
I'm like you're trying to announce yourself as a pro wrestler.
Yeah, because he did wrestling last week and he failed miserably. So I thought I was going for a wrestling-themed introduction. I like the way
that you twice made it easier for the people to grapple you.
Oh dear.
I heard 1411, so gonna have to dock you. Gonna have to dock you for that exaggeration there. No, I'm just kidding. So before we get in, the rerolls that we have are 1 for Finn, 1 for Ockar, 1 for Leva, and 1 for me, the Dungeon Master. We are down 2 players right now. Hopefully, I believe one person told me that they were going to be out, and I cannot for the life of me verify it. My memory is not what it once was, shall we say. But I think someone else is just running late. So, we will get into the game. You had defeated some 4-armed reptilian creatures. So I get to where you guys are. That phased in from elsewhere.
Oh.
And we're trying to abduct you, I believe you heard from Margoth. I think that's who told you.
Yeah. I didn't realize they'd phased in. I knew that one of them was trying to phase out with someone.
Yeah, they, it's something that you could probably come to that conclusion. They may have been invisible, I suppose. You could think that too. One or the other. But it was quite a harrowing fight.
Yeah, for Lafdul was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know Braxon had to stop one of them from stealing someone, so he wouldn't. Oh yeah, that was Behemoth, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he was paralyzed.
Yeah.
But Genva used a magical device to take you into a pocket non-dimensional paradise place. It is a lovely area. It is warm but not hot. It is very, very comfortably warm. Cool breeze all the time. There are fruit and nut trees all over the place, ample to just grab. And you're surrounded by what appears to be a running brook of fresh, clean water that Finn has verified is safe to drink completely. And you're able to rest here for the night.
Do we know how long the spell effect lasts?
Genva would tell you that you could rest here for a few days if necessary, but
okay. No, I'm just thinking Braxon will take off his armor if we're safe till it's cancelled, and
yeah, she'll assure you that you are completely safe.
Yeah,
whether she's right or not.
Yeah, he'll go downstream so he doesn't contaminate the water. So
is there
wash himself?
Logically, Lafdul thinks there must be like a gate access, because otherwise, how can we be in 2 places at once? We must be like phased out or something.
You're not seeing the cave anymore at all. You cannot see that. You're someplace else.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Lafdul doesn't know, so.
Like, Genva would tell you that if anyone comes through the cave that you were in, they will not see you at all. And other than footsteps, no one will know that we were even there. They may think that we left, or something like that.
Is that akin to like teleporting to another place? As in, there's no like residue trail that there's an ongoing effect there that will just it's like passive without trace. I mean, when I cast, I leave a magical trace there.
If they can detect magic, then they may know that something is up, but I do not know if they would know exactly what.
True. I mean, as long as there's no, like, entrance to this place.
Not as far as I know.
Has anyone ever been on the other side when you used it to see if they could enter in after you've created the effect after the effect? If that makes sense.
Only those people that I wish to enter at the time that I bring us all here come with me. There is no entrance. It is a all or nothing affair. When we leave, I take us all back.
Braxon says that the food here, if we gather food, can we take it with us afterwards or does it disappear?
I believe you can, but I would not take too much. I do not know what might happen with it.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So basically, like you could take enough for some extra snacks, or like a couple meals. But
yeah,
she can bring you. Basically, you're also getting the idea that every night she can just bring you here, rather than you guys all having to exit
you can
back
do
out.
this.
Right.
This isn't like burning through charges or anything.
I still have a temporary healing potion, right?
Yeah, everyone's still got temporary healing potions.
Okay.
Better to go through the spells before temporary. Oh, I'm the only healer currently here.
Well, I mean, you guys haven't rested yet, so I'll.
In fact, I've used all my healing spells, so.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I don't know what the others had.
Vordon and Margoth has some. Sun Fayun cannot use any yet.
And I need some, because Lafdul and I need some heavy healing.
Well, I'll still heal my temporary damage, but the rest I cancelled when I build my. I got it. I'm gonna get 18 back over time.
Yeah, but I guess so. I just need healing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drink the temporary healing potion.
Well, hold on. Let me see what Finn and Solas have.
Oh, I don't think Finn writes his spells on his character sheet. Or we ran into that problem before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, I have some listed, and I have some that were marked as cast today. So I'm just going to roll with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not
What
cheating at all,
spells
does
do
it?
they have cast? So you can just remember, clarify.
All right. So cure serious wounds. He's gonna cast that. I mean, I see 2 unfailing premonitions, and they're both marked as cast today. So
yeah, he definitely cast them.
Okay.
All right. Let me see who that will be going to. This will be going towards Ockar. 13.
Okay.
13 hit points.
Anything else?
Yeah, well, I need to...
I'm only down a quarter of my hit points when I actually heal the temporary. How long does it take? 2 hours for temporary? Or an hour? Or how does that actually work? Is it like every turn?
Yeah, it's I can't remember, but I mean it'll you guys can all, you're gonna be spending the whole night here, so you can add back on temporary lost hit points. That's fine.
And then we can calculate how much else we actually need.
Yeah.
Alright, so
How much is the temporary?
Alright, so Cure Moderate for Ockar.
So I'm
9
actually
hit points. That one is marked as cast. And I got 2 Cure Lights.
I'm 13 away from max. But...
Right.
Alright, 7 more hit points for Ockar.
You know, if Braxon periodically punched Lafdul in the face, he'd heal himself.
Depending on whether or not I'm wearing my ring regeneration, plus I don't actually know if your life leeching would be healed.
I'm joking. I'm not doing that. That would be abuse of the magic item.
I mean, you're in
And
a
abuse
really
of your
bad situation.
friend.
Yeah, I mean, if you were literally going to die, I'd be fine with it, but you're not going to die.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That was an out of character joke. Braxon wouldn't say anything stupid like that.
Let's see.
I don't know. We've heard some pretty questionable things from Braxon.
Alright, so I got Cure Moderate Wounds from Solas.
I wish Kami was here. Because I'm pretty sure Sealand doesn't have access to the Guardian Sphere.
Well, at least for this night, I'm not. You know, they're not.
Oh yeah, I know. I can't
changing up their spells. They're getting back what they had.
It would be a question for Solas, obviously, whenever it would apply.
All right, so that is going to be 2 hit points for Lafdul.
2.
Yeah, Cure Moderate Wounds from Solas. And my... Oh, yeah, okay. Braxon and Leva were on top of each other, so...
No, it doesn't.
No fan service, please.
What? Oh.
He said Braxon and Leva were on top of each other.
Were they not? Were your tokens not on top of each other on your screen? I just had to move.
There's
I don't know. I might put my token back in the wrong place.
There's a double token there. Either that or Leva's token's not dragged itself. It's like it's still there on my screen. Yeah, now it's moved. Braxon's moved now.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me moving to the side to make sure I was.
Yeah, I moved Leva to the side just to see, because...
Yeah, roll 20 wasn't updating.
Okay. Alright, so another Cure Moderate. This will be going for Ockar. 9 hit points. Another Cure Moderate for Lafdul.
I think I'm good.
4 hit points.
I'm going to heal a couple when I rest anyway, right?
Yeah.
How much? 4.
4.
Okay.
And then that is, let's see. Alright, he's got 3 Cure Lights. Sorry, just a second.
Should I start changing up my spells, considering?
Yeah, you guys can change up your spells if you want. That's fine. You're getting a rest. All right, so let's see. I got 3 Cure Lights. So first of all, for Beelmoth.
Oh yeah, Beelmoth deserves healing.
5 for Finn. 8.
Heal by.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's the Bamble heal by?
How much was he healed by?
5. You got it on there. Wait, nope, that was 8. Oops. My bad. And let's see, this will go for Braxon. 3.
3. Woo.
All right. Now,
Thank you.
Let's see what Vordon has.
What does that 3 get rid of 3 of the temporary damage?
All the temporary damage is gone already. Just
okay.
Remove that. That's fine.
So it's easier to calculate.
So that means I'll go up 9.
Yep, there you go. Alright, and Vordon has a Cure Light for... Actually, he might be down a few. Let me see. Yeah,
I'm only down a little bit. I mean, I'm down 8 points. I don't know if it's worth people blowing that.
What do you mean? That's only a little bit. That's almost half of levels.
It's a half a level.
Yeah. Yeah, but what I
Not
mean
quite,
is...
but almost. That's a lot.
What I mean is Braxon would want everyone else to be healed before he started getting completely topped up. Because all he's got to do is find the weedy guy in the enemy and punch him in the face.
Cure Serious for Lafdul, just because that's what he's got. He'll memorize it again. 7.
No, thank you. That actually tops me out.
All right. Okay. All right, so that will do. You guys can change up your spells. You have a very relaxing night. You feel very comfortable and very safe in this area.
Is any of the fruit and nuts familiar to me, or anything exotic that would only be relative to where I'm from? I'm wondering if it's creating food that's appropriate to us, or if it's just got a standard stock.
It's just standard stock. It's like there's
bananas,
apple, like there's apples, but you can't say, oh, this is this specific type of apple. It's just like a generic apple, and the tree has both green and red. And there are berry bushes, there are nut trees, there are citrus trees with oranges and lemons, tons of nuts, walnuts.
There's a part of me that wants good
pecans, I guess. I don't know. I don't know nuts, but other nuts.
Yeah.
And it's all tasty and filling.
There's some nuts that are not technically nuts, isn't there?
That's true.
I bet the Grav hate this. I mean, yeah, they're getting their veg, but it's not dense. They need a lot of it.
No, they don't hate it. They don't hate it.
But it's no steak to them or whatever.
Well, it is a little... They do say it is a little on the light side, but it's tasty and delicious, and it'll fill you up.
I know that Bamble probably isn't a fan of this.
He seems to take to it okay, actually. I mean, you can definitely tell that it's not his favorite, but at the same time, he still finds it tasty enough. Alright, so you get a good night's rest. You can change up your spells. Everyone gets 3 hit points back.
3? Oh,
yep.
I only gave myself 1. Special, let's give myself the other 2.
It is very, very relaxing.
Yeah. Braxon's. Oh, I'm not far off my top.
That reminds me of when we went into that. When we had a tarot card that did that to us. On Brawl, it took us to a safe space.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's a similar thing going on here.
That, I think, didn't that... You got that on
Brawl.
the trip, but it took you to your asteroid.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I mean, yeah, it took us to the asteroid. We were dealing with some giants, I think, at the time.
Well, I think it happened while you were on your trip.
Yeah.
All right. How much time do you guys need for rememorizing spells? I'm not going to worry too much about.
Oh, my AC's
Solas
disappeared.
Good.
Why's my AC disappeared again?
Question for the ages. I guess 2 or 3 hours. Hang on. Well, I know I'm not going to be the furthest. I'm pretty sure Solas would be a lot further than me. Oh, actually, would he?
Yeah. Just a second, need to calculate.
Oh no, I'm to guess which spell because I ticked everything. I forgot.
I think it's supposed to be 3 because I've got splint armor plus a 1 bonus. Oh, hang on, I got. Oh, I see. 4. That's stupid. Wonder why it does that. Done that before.
What, lost one of your...
It's thrown my AC away.
Oh, in your character sheet.
In my character sheet, it's done it twice.
Yeah, I had things lost too. It's a pain.
Yeah. So
remember, there were a whole bunch of spells that were scrolls that were lost.
Yeah.
I think I need 4 hours.
I mean, I can always like transition us over to the other character sheet if that would be preferable.
Nah, that's all right. That's all right.
I don't know if it will be any different, but I haven't heard of anyone having that issue with them.
Yeah.
It's only for me. It's only happened once, I think.
Okay. I've got AC -2 written, but when I re-add everything up, it looks like it should be -1 to me. So I'm not going to put -2. I'm going to put -1. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. Ouch. Excuse me while I just kick something. Yeah, so while everyone's preparing spells, Braxon's going to make sure he cleans up all his equipment.
So they want it's 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm at 4 hours.
Braxon will ask all the spellcasters when they're not preparing spells whether they need any of their equipment checked or if they need a hand with anything.
Yeah, some of them probably would. You can go ahead and like you'll you know, they can hand over some stuff for you to work on and check armor or weapons, that kind of thing.
Obviously, Ockar's better at that stuff than Braxon, but
well, I mean, the two of you
clean everything up
together too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and unmark the cast today for Finn. I'm just gonna roll with those spells that he had. Some of them he'd probably change up, but it's fine. Okay. All right. So, when you guys are all rested, oh, Ockar, did you add the 3 hit points for yourself and Bjornwolf?
Well, ceilings on mobile, on cell. Ceilings on the cell phone.
Oh yeah, no, he's away. He, I think he just told us vocally, and I just completely forgot.
I'll be right back.
Sorry, you keep fading out there, James. Okay. All right, so you have a very relaxing evening, wake up, get your spells back, and when you're all ready to return, Genva holds up the staff and invokes it again, speaking a word that you can't really make out. And
Can I try to listen?
You can try to listen.
Yeah, I got 50. I mean, I may not get it, but I'll still try.
83. Nope.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting ready, so there's jingling of armor and equipment and everything like that.
Level will cast strength on. Actually, on Beomorph.
No, you're not going to cast strength on Beomorph because he's a wolf. It's upper arm strength. It's not going to help.
Okay. Beomorph wouldn't we like have to have really strong upper arms? No, okay. So she casts it on Ockar.
Okay.
So wait, strength.
Level variation, not forget.
Yep. No, I'm rolling that right.
Strength is just your arms and not your legs.
Well, it is, but it's not going to affect his jaws.
Yeah,
There's no mechanical operation.
It's body strength, you know, and it would have a bonus to like if you had a goblin without a class level, without stats, without strength score, it would get, I think, +1 to hit and +2 to damage, but or might be +1/+1. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it says in the spell description. But the point is that it's it doesn't help anything with biting, which is also why Higmus didn't get his strength bonus when headbutting.
Right.
Strength doesn't really work on a four-legged non-humanoid creature. The strength stat.
Would it allow Beomorph to carry Ockar if Ockar was heavier? Like increase his carrying capacity?
I mean, I might, but most of that's more like body form and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
I guess.
Sorry, I'm distracting you from the adventure. I should stop.
All right. So
is that valid for Tensor's giant strength as well?
yeah, stick to the PCs really.
Okay.
I mean, you can cast it on NPCs who, like, you know, Margoth, Sunfayun, Vordon, Genva, that kind, or if you just had a hero goblin, so to speak. But yeah, it's not gonna really help out a creature that just bites, because it is lifting strength and arm strength and leg strength. It's not jaw strength. It doesn't mean that when you have giant strength, you can suddenly bite through things better. It doesn't work that way. And it doesn't help with it really doesn't help with like a claw attack either, because that's a you know, a slashing kind of thing. So strength in AD&D is not a general damage increasing thing. It is very specific in what it does. Anyway, that is going to be 4 points for Ockar. So when he gets back, he had to step away for a second. He'll get 4 points of strength.
Hello.
Hello. You can take a few minutes to change up your spells if you want. Otherwise, you can just
Since
go with the same things that you had, or go ahead and Lafdul.
Since you were here, there was something I wanted to have asked. I was hoping you would get back before, obviously, the rest continued. Because I potentially go away from the party, would you be alright memorizing Sacred Guardian casting on me? Because that way, if I'm away from you, you'll know that something's up. If it's up to you, but that's the I thought it was a good suggestion.
Yeah, I'm okay. Just remind me which level spell was that.
It's a first level spell.
Okay.
I would have asked Finn, but he doesn't have access to Guardian.
Yeah,
At
I
least
will
not
memorize one Sacred Guardian.
Do you have spells that allow you to see those creatures, do you think? Because you can travel into the ethereal. I mean, it's a standard thing for most clerics to be able to have astral. I would know that, right? Astral's like a common sphere.
Yeah, but that's a powerful one. Etherealness is less common.
No, is that right? Well, I'm just on about like the.
But basically,
well,
powerful spellcasters in general can go to the astral plane.
Stupid question. Astral and ethereal are different in this, right?
Yeah.
And spells that view are either one or the other, not usually both.
Correct.
Right. I suppose it would help if we know which plane they were going to.
Basically, astral takes you up to the outer planes, and ethereal takes you down to the inner planes.
Mm-hmm.
If you think of it like that.
So the shadow plane takes you sideways?
Well, considering they were able
Shadow
to
plane,
see us.
The plane of shadow in this is a demi-plane.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's not a mirror.
Not that you'd know that, but that's fine.
I would ask Solas if you're astrally traveling, as a manner of speaking, are you able to see the world around you like you can with ethereal? Would you know? Because I want to say it's a hedge bet that they're coming from the ethereal.
I don't think Solas is powerful enough, or if he is powerful enough, he's only just barely powerful enough, and he's never been to the astral. So he's not going to know.
Yeah. Do you have anything that allows you to see into the ethereal? Because I don't. Because I suspect when I go off gallivanting, I may get surprised by that one guy who got away. You can probably see.
There is one spell that would allow me to see into the astral or ethereal plane, called Astral Awareness.
Yeah, it might be worth it.
Yeah, I could cast that. It's 1 hour per level, its duration.
Oh, that's a really good lasting spell, man. I mean, I'm going to take Blast Watchfulness. I won't get surprised as easily.
Basically, while the spell is in effect, caster automatically notes approach of all kinds of astral or ethereal phenomena, including shifting conduits, psychic wind, ether cyclones, demiplanes, and debris, color pools, and curtains of vaporous color.
That sounds like it may only work on those planes. Let me check.
Also, it gives +2 surprise bonus to surprise checks against astral or ethereal monsters, and has a slight chance to detect threat of creatures whose gaze extend to ethereal, like basilisks.
Okay, yeah, second effect. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I could take 1 Astral Awareness.
I think you have like the most broad spell range, obviously being a cleric.
Yeah, so basically the one effect that you get is a +2 bonus to any check against surprise for astral or ethereal monsters. The gaze thing only works on the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
And the first whole paragraph is all when you're on the astral or ethereal. But should you go ethereal while using that, while that is up, that can help there too.
Yeah. Yeah, I will take the Astral Awareness, so they should not be as easily ambushing us. At least not me.
Alright.
I mean, Blessed Watchfulness means you can only be surprised on the one, which I'll be casting myself.
Well, that's still penalties still apply to that. Like if something, basically it's a 1 rather than a 1, 2, 3. So you're basically getting a +2 bonus. So if something applies a -2 penalty, then it just offsets, and you're back to 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. It's not a universal, only a 1, period. And of course, if you have dexterity, you still get dexterity reaction adjustment. Okay.
Yeah, obviously I don't know, so.
Well, I'm telling you the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well.
there's a big difference between a +1 bonus and only ever a 1. Huge difference.
Yeah, it doesn't do that for me, though.
What do you mean?
Just for clarification, you aren't confusing mine and Solas' spell up, yeah?
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is that the surprised only on a 1 means that a modified roll of 1 as opposed to a modified roll of 1, 2, 3.
Alright.
So it's similar to a +2 bonus, which would be cumulative with the +2 bonus of the Astral Awareness spell. What I mean is that, like, it doesn't negate that spell that you have doesn't negate something that has a -4 penalty to surprise. You see what I'm saying?
Sort of. I can't wrap. I'm not an auditory. I have to look at like a description of a word to understand it, rather than verbally.
All right. Well, if it comes up, then you'll probably see.
It's something I'll look at for the game or something.
Yeah. All right. Everyone ready to get exploring again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Braxon's going to prepare himself for an immediate attack before we leave this thing.
Actually, we can cast our long duration spells before we can even need to leave.
Yeah.
So
just a reminder, during the rest, I would have a refreshed blur for Finn's ring.
Okay.
So he has it available.
Is that something that you do in the morning, or did you have a blur available to put into it?
I had it available.
Okay.
I just didn't have a moment to cast it on myself.
That's
where
fine.
I needed it.
You can cast it straight in without that's just a mechanic of the ring.
Yeah, Ring of Spell Storing, basically, you cast spells in it, and then whoever has the ring can invoke those those spells as if they were casting it. All right, so Genva returns you to the cave, and it is as you left it. You don't immediately notice any obvious signs of anything else having passed through here.
I'm going to start casting spells on myself. Well, I should have done it in the thing, but
you would have done it in the thing. Before you left? What do you cast on yourself?
I'm casting Endure Heat on myself. I am casting Cloak of Fear on myself because I can activate the Cloak of Fear in the last 8 hours.
Okay.
I will cast the Astral Awareness before we start heading off, and I will cast the Sacred Guardian on Lafdul.
All right. How long does Sacred Guardian last?
Days.
Day per level, so it's 8 days.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
And the Astral Awareness is 8 hours.
Yeah.
I will also cast Blessed Watchfulness on myself because that lasts 4 hours plus an hour a level, so that's going to last until my next rest.
Okay.
Or it's dispelled.
All right. Leva, any other spells that you want to cast other than Strength?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So, with those spells cast, Genva returns you to the cave, and you can get back to exploring around. Do you want me to just move you all back to where the fight location happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So I'm just marking off what spells I've cast.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we've gone forward a little bit.
Yeah, Old said he was going to...
I know.
Sorry.
I mean, we've gone forward a little bit from where I'd gone before.
That's fine. I mean,
Oh.
you just like carefully crept around. I mean, Lafdul had already been up on this platform. He had been starting to pick this lock when the ambush happened. So you did not obviously finish with that. You can go back to that if you want.
Well, since we're all here as a group, what's the consensus, Artie? Are we staying tightly as a group now? Or am I ever going to scout around?
I think we should at least start with staying together.
And
Alright,
just
well,
to re-describe this area, since it was last week. So the platform is about head height for most of you guys, so it's around 5 to 6 feet high. There are stairs down on the southern end to get up to it, and these four pillars are carved with geometric designs. They're not like in the shape of creatures or anything like that. They're just carved with geometric designs all around. And there's dust and loose stone everywhere except where you guys have been that disturb some of the area and everything like that.
How about the people that were fighting us? Did they disturb any of the dust?
They did where they were, and their corpses are still around. They do
Right.
not appear to have been touched.
Right. So, but there's no trails coming in or out. They just, because you said they appeared.
Yeah, the problem is that none of you have tracking, so you can't really tell.
Okay. All right. So Braxon thinks maybe he'd be able to tell if he was yielding.
Sure.
Well, if any of us could speak with Beowulf, he could probably track, but I don't think any of us can speak with animal spells or gift of speech.
The southern pillar does have a pale light hanging from it, magical, and it's slightly flickering, not like flame, but like more of like a pulse, as if it's fading, and the spellcasters definitely would recognize this as an old spell that is just, like its power is fading. And
what was it cast on?
Hold on a second. I just had a fatal memory exceeded error. Hold on a second. I need to.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I need to switch back to the intermission screen. Hold on a second.
Oh, wait, your Twitch thing.
No, my web browser. Just the Roll20 crashed for me, basically.
That's what it was doing to me earlier too.
Okay.
Not enough memory.
We're still doing sound.
Yeah, I'm just I just
reloading.
went back to the stream return soon. I'm gonna see what I can do about. I gotta get this back in another way. Hold on. Sorry, viewers.
But are you really?
Yeah, actually, I am.
Yeah, I think he's sorry.
All right.
I
I was
don't
actually
know,
trying Chrome because I noticed some slowness last time in
I get
Firefox,
horrible. Yeah.
and I'm
That's,
switching back to Firefox. It may be slow, but better that than
That pillar, that pillar that has light source, does it cast on the pillar itself?
No, it's cast on a
Something that's disintegrating?
well, you don't think that it's a light spell. You think it might be something else that's similar, has
Oh.
similar functions, but exactly how that works, who knows, kind of thing. It's a
Do I want to say the one thing that will annoy the GM?
You don't know.
Can Solas identify it?
Souls could try to identify it.
I'm just wondering if it's priable.
While
lever.
Lafdul is trying to pick the lock, Solas will ponder it with spellcraft.
Braxton's going to quietly say, "Well, while you're tinkering with stuff, I should guard one of the entrances."
Well, Solas has got the thingy.
I mean, even if I have the spell, it's still a good idea to guard.
Oh yeah, or at least be near each other.
Braxton's moving slightly north up the corridor. This is when he's.
Lafdul-
This is going to be when he steps on the tile and it goes click.
Well, you never know.
Well, Ald won't be able to
don't-
tell me until he gets Firefox working.
Yeah, don't move too much before Old gets
Yeah, I
things
know.
working.
I know.
I'm back in now.
No, it's just I moved Braxton here, Ald.
You're just watching Northware.
Yeah,
North
yeah.
Ware?
Basically, I had a pillar in my face, so I couldn't see what was happening.
You're gonna take south.
if
No,
you-
go. Hold on. Braxton, go ahead. Finish.
That's it. Basically, I had a pillar in my face in front of my vision, so I'm getting this way. It looks like there's some sort of wall here. I can see sort of to the left and right of it.
That I think is just shadow. You can see
Right.
that there is more light up ahead, but it's behind a pillar.
Yeah.
That pillar is casting a shadow. I think that's what's going on there.
Okay.
If you want better defensive position, you would take the higher ground on the platform.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically,
the
what's
high
happening is that is that is a hard shadow because of the limit of your vision crossing over with a faded light up there.
Oh, I see.
Those creatures don't have wings, do they? They were walking.
Yeah, they were walking.
That's-
They have 6 limbs, 2 legs, and 4 arms.
It's probably safe to assume that any mundane floor trap would have been triggered by them by now.
If they stepped on
Well,
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if they traveled on this plane and not on the,
I imagine.
I think Margoth mentioned that they can go to the ethereal plane.
All right, so Lafdul, you are trying to pick that lock.
Trying, he's had bad luck with these locks because they're so alien to him.
Yep.
I need a spell that helps.
Okay. So Lafdul, after working on that for another few minutes, you actually do realize that the door is not locked, but it is stuck. Like what you thought was a lock, it turns out it's not locked, it's just stuck, and it needs to be forced open. Ockar, you back?
Yeah.
Okay, did you get 4 points of strength added to you from...
I did not. That would put me at 14... 18... something?
1820?
1820?
Yeah.
Right. So that door just needs good old elbow grease, but that'll make a lot of noise. So we'll
Yeah. You're
put
gonna
it
look at that
down
one?
as a potential. Yeah, I'm looking to see if I'd rather go in quietly first, ideally.
Okay, so you want to check this one first, and then...
Alright.
Yeah, alright.
People can analyze the door.
Are you
I mean,
checking for traps first, or are you just
yeah, I'm checking for traps. I mean, when we're not in danger, I'm checking for traps.
Okay.
Did
there
I
is no trap on that door as far as you can tell, and the door does not appear to be locked. You think you could open that without, and it doesn't appear to be stuck either.
All right,
Hold on a second. Solas, you had a question?
Yeah, did I figure anything out with the spellcraft I rolled success?
Oh, right. It seems to be similar to the light spell. How it differs, you're not sure. Or the continual light spell, it might be a little bit more powerful in that it because you're not noticing any degradation to the item that it's on, but the magic itself is beginning to fade. So it might be something that just has an extremely long duration without any degradation, kind of thing.
So it's basically a variant of continual light.
it's like having a permanent,
That's your guess.
ever-burning torch.
That's your guess.
Because the permanent
it's
ever-burning
something that-
torch doesn't burn away the torch, does it?
Well, it's magical light as opposed to a permanent flame or something like that.
Yeah.
It's basically a variant of continual light, and I think if given time and resources, party would be able to research similar themselves.
I mean, it's whether or not we want to invest in that.
And whether or not it's worth it.
But it's something that we could do, most likely.
But it's not that much better than what we can currently do already. So it's just a different culture, different smell.
Yeah. I mean, it does something similar. I mean, how old these ruins are, you don't know, but Solas, you've read about stuff enough that you're looking at something that's, more than hundreds of years old.
Possibly thousands.
So, at that point, do you care whether you have continual light or a variant of continual light?
Well, it depends if the pillar is structurally important.
Oh, wait, that just... Wait, did you do something with the fog gold?
No, there might just be some glitches in the lines.
I can suddenly see in these two rooms. But it might be because I moved there and it's ever so slightly overlapping.
Can you see other things? Hold on a second, let me see what...
Nope. Just those two rooms.
Alright. Well,
There's some slight fog there. But
I put everything on the GM layer, so I'm not too concerned right now.
Well, I don't think it's...
I think Roll20's warnings to me about the map being too big were
accurate. It likes it at all.
No. So now I just know to not make something.
Was this done like months ago? Just like a reference of how long it takes you to do these.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I had this done quite a while ago.
Oh wow.
All right. So did you want to try to open that door?
I obviously called down to Braxon and Ockar. I said, yeah, that door's good. Do you want to be up front lining it?
You want us to go through it?
It's not long. The door can be pushed open. I assume that you two want to be in the front to protect all of us squishy people at the back.
Oh, okay. Can Braxon hop up here with his boots?
Oh yeah, easily.
You should probably... I mean, I didn't find any traps. That doesn't mean there aren't any.
Too late.
No, I'm on about the door.
I know.
So if only one of you want to potentially take the trap, the other one could be
so
slightly ajar.
This door?
The northern one, yeah.
I mean,
okay.
in general, it would be a good idea to...
I'm going to ask the usual annoying question. Does it open inwards or outwards?
Inwards.
Okay. Braxon, is the handle turned or not turned?
Hasn't been turned yet.
Okay. Braxon is going to look at it.
Rephrase. It's been turned, but not like pushed open.
Okay. Braxon is going to turn the handle and
take some cover.
And he's going to push the door open with his toe and step back and then cautiously look into the room without putting his head in the room.
It's too big for you to push it open with your toe.
Too big for him to push open with his toe.
Yeah.
What about his whole foot?
Yeah, you could do that.
Right, because I was just wondering how stiff it was.
Is this like a stone door?
It's
my
like the
usual-
doors back in the other ruins, where it seems to be some strange mixture of or a material that reminds you of a mixture of ceramic, metal, and maybe stone. It's like it seems to have properties of those things.
Okay, so Braxon will kick the door open as much as he can, and then he's going to go to the left and look with his head to the right to see if there's anything near the door frame, and he's going to go to the right, look to the left, and he's going to bend down a bit and look up.
Lafdul's got his short sword and dagger out ready.
And then once he's done that, he's going to go into the room and push the door open all the way to make sure there's nothing behind the door.
Okay.
And he's going to look around.
All right. Nothing moves in this chamber. There's dust covering everything, and you can see a large stone slab against the far wall. Nothing moves when you look in and enter and everything like that. There is some rusted furniture that, immediately you're like, that reminds me of the previous ruins that we were just at, kind of thing. And some other broken stone furniture as well.
Is it like a layer of dust on the floor? Or is it semi-recently disturbed?
Well, it's pretty recently disturbed from opening the door.
I don't know exactly where the furniture is, but Braxton's going to go and check out some of the furniture.
All right.
He's not going to sit on it or try and move it because he thinks it might fall apart. But he's
other than that stone slab, all the furniture is ruined. Like, you can just tell that it was furniture.
Yeah. All right. Braxton's trying to see if he can see the style or anything like that.
It reminds you of the same furniture from the other place. It's definitely alien to you.
Yeah.
Do we give it a search around?
Braxton's going to say, be careful. There's a lot of dust in here.
Yeah, it's an archaeologist's dream. No one's an archaeologist here.
I think we could search this later on, since we still have active spells.
Yeah, but
even if they are long-lasting.
Do you want me to kick in the door on the other door, which you said was a bit stiff?
Yeah, it was just stiff. It needs a bit of elbow grease.
Or should we check the passages nearby first so that we can get rid of anyone that might be nearby before we open that door?
Considering it's stuck, I think it's okay to leave it there for a moment, since basically if someone opens it, we will hear it.
Sounds good to me. Do we go south, east, or north?
Well, south we already know.
Well, your minions now.
We do?
I mean, the south as in it's just a cave that connects to this
the south passage over here. East area.
East, that's east.
Well, Braxton's going to come out of the room.
If you mean this.
I meant this. I haven't been down there.
Yeah, it just connects to the...
Yeah, that was
cave.
the fungal area. It's all been fogged over because I had to reset the fog.
There is another
Braxton's going to have a quick look.
Light source up the north passage.
I mean, it's probably another pillar if this place is square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so east or north?
I would suggest north myself. But...
Well, wasn't this place like a dead end? Like, your minions couldn't find anything, so isn't it better to search a dead end when you know it's a dead end? That way you don't have to go back.
I don't know if it's dead end or not.
And that is where one of the creatures, two of the creatures fled.
Yeah, and they probably pamphed into the ethereal. or wherever. I mean, you might see them down there.
Pick one
Or
direction.
they might have left completely.
Right, we
Oh,
got
yeah.
one for north, one for east. Anyone else?
Yeah.
East.
East. Let's do east then. Right, Braxton's going to go along the south wall until he gets to this corner, and then he's going to crouch down and wait for the others to come.
If we're going as a... Are we going to have a fighting line? I mean, I could be on the fighting line beside you and Ockar.
I don't know what we're seeing. Braxton's going to poke his head out a little bit.
All right.
Oh.
All right,
I mean, if
so
we're all...
you come to that corner, and you can see the corpse of one of the two creatures that fled. You do not see the remains of the other one, and you can see 4 doors, 2 to the north, 2 to the south. There's another raised platform in front of you, again about head height, and the raised platform has it's not clear. There's rusted. There's more of the rusted stuff that you're now recognizing as very ancient furniture that was made of metal that has rusted into ruination. So whatever exactly it was, you can't tell. But you can see that hanging from some of them are wisps of little bits of cloth just remaining on this stuff, and it feels pretty dry over here.
Right, Braxton says to Lafdul, "Do you want to check 2 of these doors, and I'll watch the other end, or do you just want to go through the doors?" I think you might be muted.
What?
Braxton was talking to Lafdul. We've got 4 doors. Normally, our door checking person checks doors.
Well, if he's not
No,
here
I
right
was typing.
Okay,
I did say in Roll20 I was... No.
sorry.
It was a question for Solas. Could you, Solas... Did you know if your spiders are poisonous?
Well, not a definite answer as a character, but I think Solas would have guessed that they were poisonous.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you
could
guys
it have
would,
died
you guys
on the
would know
ethereal
that.
plane?
You guys would know
Okay,
that big, very big spiders tend to be poisonous.
And as a player, one of them did make poison damage on the creature.
Could it have died on the ethereal plane?
Braxton's going to go up on this platform and watch these 2 doors without opening either of them.
That I don't have any idea if he could have died on the ethereal plane and returned back here. I would think not, but no definite answer. I did manage to, or my spiders did manage to get 1 attack when they were fleeing to this area.
You don't know how their poison works, then?
Well, no, I'm not expert in those kinds of things.
If only we had a nature person, that's seems to be spaced out right now.
He doesn't know much about giant monster spiders.
Doesn't he?
No.
Oh.
It's not natural.
Those monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they're natural, but they're not. They're monstrous. So Braxon, up there, you have to not exactly claw your way around, but it takes a lot of maneuvering to get around the rusted hulks of whatever furniture was up there.
Right.
And and trying to keep yourself from getting scraped and cut on sharp edges and things like that.
And you have to climb through this lot to get to that door.
Yeah, just because there was obvious some furniture or some structures up there that were that have now rusted, and
Yeah.
There's no
there's
like.
little wisps of cloth hanging from some of them as well.
Braxon says to Lafdul, while you're checking the doors downstairs, do you want me to try and move some of the stuff out of the way?
I was curious to know if they were like ballista or something, but yeah,
If
I
they're
guess
what?
it's too old. If they were like ballista, like defensive emplacements.
You don't think so? They like, I mean, it's hard to say, but you don't see anything that looks like ballista shafts or anything like that.
That'll make a lot of noise what you're doing, Braxon. If you can do it quietly, you can try. I'm gonna go down here and search for traps.
He does not think that he could do that quietly.
No.
It's
Again, the
rusted
levitator
stuff.
or-
It would need to be like pried apart and pushed and stuff like that.
How difficult is it to get to that door? That player?
Which door? The one that's up by Braxon?
Yeah, the one on the platform.
It's not difficult. You just couldn't like run to it because you gotta navigate around the stuff.
Okay.
And
How high is that?
about 5 feet.
Okay, so Braxon wants to try to clear very slowly the squares in front of the door.
So you
Like,
can, I
maybe-
mean, like you can get to the door, and once you're at the door, like right there is clear. It's just a case of anyone going up there and walking to the door is like,
Yeah.
skirting around rusted stuff, pushing
Yeah.
the, going up against the wall and scooting by so that sharp rusty bits don't cut them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you just
So
couldn't run, but there's
Braxon's
nothing
gonna
blocking the way.
Okay. Braxton's going to get to here, and when Lafdul wants to come up here to check this door, he's going to pull him up.
Okay.
I can just climb up. It's only 5 foot.
Yeah.
But I suppose a helping hand makes it easier, I suppose.
Yeah.
I will look at the door. I mean...
Okay, so you're checking for traps on that one?
Uh,
Alright.
Usual run of the muck.
Okay, you do not detect any traps on that door. You don't think it's locked.
Right, now I'll go over to the next door. I'm not opening them, I'm just checking each door before I go through any of them. That's what I would like to do, unless people suggest otherwise.
Okay.
Know our options before we enter our option.
Okay.
This is going to be like anywhere from like 4 minutes to 40 minutes.
You don't
Right.
detect any traps on that door either, and you also don't think it's locked. Now, as a bit of a note, the doors are not the same in that this one is a fairly plain door. This one is taller and larger, and there's geometric designs along the edge. It feels like it's obviously set up to be a more important door.
Well, Lafdul says that this door is okay. I'm gonna open it.
Okay.
Well, did you just not hear what I said previous to that? Or
What?
I would ideally like to check all the doors before we go through any of them. At least we know which doors that we can go in or could expect hostiles from.
Then I'll wait over here, and then once you're done checking, I'll open it.
Okay.
I want to check this one down, then the one up after. Traps, lock.
All right. Okay. That one also does not appear to have traps, and it appears to be openable, unlocked.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
You're gonna Braxon help you up to check out that one.
Yeah, I jump up, I grab Braxton's hand or something, I guess, or he pulls me up.
That door.
Braxton's going to hop down while Lafdul's checking that door.
Okay.
That gives me more room.
Yeah. Just in case.
I mean, it's still a
big
good 10
sparky
feet.
things come out the door.
It's still a good 10 feet deep on that platform. So.
Oh yeah. There might be a big flamethrower comes out the door handle or something.
What's a flamethrower? Is it some kind of Tinker Gnome thing?
Yeah, some sort of little magician with a fireball.
No, big flamethrower is one of those skeletons we fought on the
Oh, yeah, I
Citadel.
suppose.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, there you go.
it might squirt out alchemist fire or something.
Alchemist's fire isn't a thing.
Greek fire, then.
Oh,
Hmm. That's name.
Well, you said-
I don't know. It was created by the Olympian gods.
Why-
They chose that name. Who knows? So that door does not appear to have a trap on it either, and that one is a bit stuck though.
Alright. Top or bottom?
okay,
Top one's openable.
but stiff.
No, that
So-
one's not even stiff.
3 of them are openable. 1 of them is stuck.
Yeah, that one's stuck.
Okay, we do that one last then.
Which one?
The one that's stuck.
Well, yeah.
So which
We
one
do
do you want to
the-
start with?
Well, Ockar wanted to do the one near him, didn't he? So why don't we let him go ahead and knock himself out? Not literally, obviously.
Okay. All right.
Braxon's going to keep watch on these doors at the other end.
Okay, so Ockar, you're gonna slowly open that, or you're gonna quickly open it? What do you wanna? How do you wanna do it?
I'm gonna slowly open it.
Okay, it does open into the room. All right, you slowly open that door, and do you have your axe out, Ockar?
Yeah.
You do? I'm sorry.
I do.
You do? Okay. Let me give you some more light then.
I think when we're traveling with a group where not everyone can see invisibly, that we probably all would have, at least some of us would have a light source out.
Well, I need
Like
to
some phone.
I need to edit it for him.
You shouldn't assume.
All right. So Ockar, you should be able to see a little bit better now. Let me see. Yeah. All right. So you can see inside that room. It is a smaller chamber, and there is a slab up against the wall in the corner. And like the one in the previous chamber, it's like 6 feet long. You remember seeing a few of these back on the in the other ruins as well. And I think by this point you guys would kind of realize that these are all beds.
Okay.
Mhm.
How big are the beds, sir?
About 6 feet long.
Yeah.
And you can see that there's some very rusted things high up on the wall, little wisps of cloth hanging from them. Perhaps they had some sort of hangings or tapestries or something like that. Beyond that, the chamber doesn't seem to have much at all. Seems fairly Spartan even compared to the other ones. Very little furniture.
Move to the store then to open it.
Okay. And you did see a door on the far end of that chamber as well.
Yeah, I'd mentioned that to Lafdul.
Okay. All right, so you slowly open that door again.
While he's doing that, I'm investigating traps on this one.
Okay. So, Ockar, inside that chamber, you can see that there's a bit of a corridor that then opens up into a larger, high-ceilinged room.
Yeah, I'm gonna slowly move in. While I look around.
Okay.
Do remember to check the ceiling.
I'll be checking the ceiling too.
So the ceiling is domed, and there's a plinth right here. Just to your right, upon coming in, you can see a door beyond that that you'd realize is the door that Lafdul is currently checking. And Lafdul, you don't think it's locked, but it'll take longer to check for traps.
Yeah.
And in this chamber, there are rows of broken stone furniture. And the first instinct that you have, Ockar, is that this reminds you of pews in a temple. And the far end... on this plinth is a statue of a humanoid figure. Very insect-like in appearance. Its limbs are double-jointed. And it has no neck. It's like the head is right there on the torso between the shoulders. Very alien and unusual, unlike anything that you've seen before, except for the things that you saw back in the previous ruins.
Precursor race.
And the fine details on this thing have been lost to time, but it's definitely very unusual looking. You can also tell that you're pretty sure that there were probably wall hangings along the sides of these chamber. There's little bits of little wisps of cloth hanging from rusted hooks or similar connection points all along the wall of the chamber. And you can see that there is a door at the far end. All right.
Okay.
How big is the statue on that pedestal? Or
It's almost 10 feet tall.
okay, so stay away from the statue.
Well, I have, considering what we experienced last time, I have a feeling that thing's gonna jump up and attack us. So
Which is why I said stay away from it as
why
much as
not?
possible.
Should we just attack it now before it can get up and attack?
Wanton sacrilege.
I mean, you would also want to gather the group for it, and our group is not gathered here at the moment.
Sure, let's tell everybody else about this statue so we can deal with it.
I mean,
Just gonna be a party
gonna
of
be
people going around smashing statues just because out of paranoia.
Look, the last room like this we were in had statues going to life and attacking us. We have a reason to be worried about it.
do those statues look similar at all?
Did they call Braxon in?
Well, you're not in there, Lafdul, so
I would assume someone would be describing it to me. There's enough people around.
it's like around the wall, like, and only 2 people have popped in. You're checking for traps on that door.
Also, Solas would not be up for destroying the statue unless we are certain that it's a danger.
Fine. I guess we'll go back and we'll tell you guys about what we found then in that room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can assess how intact it is. I mean, if it's magically enchanted, it should be kept in reasonably good condition.
That's fine. So I'm coming back and tell you guys about the statue in that room, and then I'm gonna come check the door.
Hang on. You and Behemoth are going to be climbing over a load of twisted metal fragments if you go there.
That's fine.
Okay?
All right, Lafdul, you've not found a trap on that door.
Or I could just fly over the twisted metal fragments, but almost
No, you
flying
can't.
saddle.
No, you can't. There isn't
way
enough
too
height.
cramped.
Yeah.
Then I'll just wade through it. It's fine, and leave Bamos there.
You don't have to wait for it. You could take your time and go for it.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant by that. Just take my time and go through it.
Okay,
the
so
door opens up from here. Damn it! All right, I just opened up the door.
All right, you're gonna go over and open it.
Yeah, just open it from this side.
Braxon says,
Someone could have told me that it was on the other side.
Braxon says, "You ready for me to open this door now?"
Where are you? I've opened to this door where I am.
At the other end.
Oh.
Braxton's going to open the easy door down here. And he's going to do the same thing. He's going to try and push it in if it goes in.
It does.
And then he's going to try and look around the doorway before he goes into the room. And look up. And a Lafdul's appeared magically behind me.
Yeah,
no, he just moved up behind you.
Okay.
All right.
It's all corridor.
So you open that door, and you can see that there's a corridor that makes a right-hand turn on the other side.
Braxton's going to go over to this side, holding his weapon to the right. And then he's going to go around this corner. And then he's going to come along this room and start carefully going around this corner so he can look upwards.
All right. So you can see that the
it's like a swimming pool.
Corridor does take a left turn, but further on it ends in a door. To the just around that left corner, you can see that there is a wide domed hallway leading up to a chamber. You can just barely see in one corner that there's another column, but there's like a dark recess, and you're hearing the sound of slightly moving water.
Yeah, it looks like a swimming pool to me.
Well, you'd have to get up close to actually see that there's water in there.
Fair enough. Okay, so Braxton's gonna signal to the others that there's something up there.
I mean,
and then he's going to go up here and look that way and move over to that side.
NPC's up. Hold on a second.
And look that way. Okay, he's going to move up this wall a little bit.
Okay.
And he's going to step to the right a bit and turn facing left and go that way.
Okay. So getting this close, you can now clearly see that there is water in this center chamber.
Is it deep?
It's too dark to tell, and infravision doesn't cut through water very easily. You'd guess it's probably a cistern or something like that. Someplace to draw water from. And you're not seeing any like algae or growth in the water. It appears to be clear water.
Braxton's going to look for a staircase or steps.
It's only about a foot below the ledge, so it would be very easy to dip a bucket down into it or something like that, or a ladle or a cup.
Oh no, he's thinking about going in there.
Oh, I understand that.
No,
I understand that, but you're not seeing anything like that.
Right?
Can Finn see from a distance whether or not it's pure water?
No, he needs to actually like touch the water.
Physical contact. It's not a
hold it in a cup. Like he needs to like not necessarily drink the water, but like sample the
smell
water.
It, look at it.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how it mechanically works.
It's not just a glance at it. Oh yeah, that's clear water. He needs to like look at it closely, touch it, smell it.
How far down is it? Sorry.
It doesn't look terribly deep, but as you approach the edge, the water does begin to move.
And can I tumble out the way of whatever's coming at me?
pair
late.
of large watery forms rise up and begin to swipe at you with great fists of water. Go ahead and roll for initiative, everyone.
They look like moomins to me.
Nah,
We're being attacked by water moomins.
nah, they're not moomins.
They don't look like movements to me.
Okay. Oh man, what weapons are good against water? Maybe a
flaming
fire
sword?
sword. Yeah. Yeah, but I was going to go into the water. It might hiss a bit.
And this is why you don't dive head in to the strange water pools.
I
To be
was
fair,
going
they
to.
didn't dive head in. They just walked up next to it.
No, I was going to get in. If there was a staircase, I was going to get
Do
in.
these creatures look like they could escape?
You're not sure. They just rose up when you got close to it.
I'm going to do a fighting retreat them. I don't know what my roll was. It 3 or was it my weapon speed?
If you're just moving, then it's just 3.
Come on, Lafdul, be a meat shield for Solas like you were meant to be.
I mean, if it can't escape, then I'm just going to stay afire and let you spell sling and shoot it from afire. If it's stuck in there, I'm not going to risk myself unnecessarily.
Oops. We need to update the tracker.
But I am going to move behind you now, up to the wall down there.
All right, has everyone rolled?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just check I'm on the
Oops.
tracker.
Oh, I've not. My thing's not come up. I'm sick.
Yeah.
There is 3. Oh, just entered 6.
Okay.
Oh, that's convenient.
Go real slow.
All right. All right. So Lafdul, as you're moving away, Leva, what are you doing?
Leva's going to try magic missiles
Okay.
in the first try. All of them on this one.
All right. Okay, that is going to be 5 missiles.
Hmm.
These things are quite cute.
Yes,
The cuter they are, the more deadly they are usually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, they might be friendly.
Did
They
you try and talk
just
to them?
they're trying to smash you with fist-like waves of water.
Okay.
That gives me an idea.
All right, so Leva, your missiles streak out of your fingers and slam into it, clearly having an impact on the watery form. Lafdul, you can go ahead and move.
Maybe it's
he's just moving to here. He's
maybe
holding his
we've
ground
just
now.
wandered. Maybe we just wandered into a Turkish bath and they want to give us a massage.
Lafdul says
No,
if they
they
can't come out, there's no risk in putting yourself in danger.
So are you calling that out as you're moving back?
I'm just saying that. I mean, if they come out, then we'll just have to fight them.
I
People
think
can make
so.
that up.
Vordon comes up next to you and holds his position. Margoth comes up behind you to also wait. Solas, your turn.
I'm casting magic missile.
All right.
Oh no. I put it on the wrong way. I need to. I'm not rolling 5. I'm not rolling d5s.
Trying to get some extra damage out of it. And which one were you targeting?
I'm targeting the one that is more risky for me since Lafdul move away.
Okay. That should be 15 because you did +4.
I
rather than
accidentally. Yeah, that's the typo.
+5. That's fine. All right, so 5 missiles streak out of your fingers and slam into that watery form. Sun Faiyun says, "The water has come alive. I have never seen such a thing." And he is moving back behind the wall. And Genva is also moving back behind the wall. Finn, he'll come up and kind of form a line with Vordon and Lafdul. Ockar, your turn.
Okay, so they're dealing with something in there, right? I can hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, would I have gotten all the way up to the door?
Yeah, but you can just hop down here. It's not so high that it's gonna hurt you.
That still hurts to an extent.
Well, I mean, like you can crouch down and like do a hop over down kind of thing. It's not.
I'm gonna hop down and try to follow after them.
I know there's no mechanical thing, but I'd imagine hopping down in like splint mail is gonna hurt.
And I think that's as far as I can get, just with full movement.
Okay.
Maybe to there. Yeah.
You can move Bjornmolf up to you, or you can leave him where he is if you want. It's up to you. Armor is actually designed to be pretty easy to move in, so.
Yeah, I know it's attached to you, but it's still adding weight that you're not.
Yeah, but it also hangs very well off of you. That's the thing. It's very well distributed.
People that used to wear armor would dance in their armor, so that they got good at wearing the armor. If you could dance in your armor, you can fight in the armor.
Also, if it's really well fitted to you, it's not that clumsy.
All right, Braxon.
Okay. We haven't got any blessy sort of stuff going on, have we?
Nope.
Right. Okay. So let's swipe at this watery fisty person. My Thaco is 9.
All right, that is a hit.
Well, hey, are they?
They're large.
Are they? They're large. Okay. So D12 plus 4.
I think in general, if the token is that big, then it's large.
Yeah, I like to check because sometimes things can be a bit misleading. That's quite a nice roll.
All right, 14 points of damage on the one right in front of you. So you do get healed up to full.
Oh yeah. I worked out why my hit points keep disappearing. My AC keeps disappearing.
Oh, why is that?
The circle on the left is linked to my AC.
The armor class.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've got -4, but I'm -1 at the moment because I'm not using my shield.
The red one. Okay, do you want me to unlink that?
Yeah, but we'll deal with it later.
No, I can do that right now.
Okay.
There we go.
Because before I was using that as temporary hit points.
There's a blue one for that's a temp. What's?
No, well, I was using the red one for that. It doesn't
Isn't
matter.
the top right one empty for you?
It's empty for mine.
Yeah, top right one was empty for me, but the one on the left had some numbers in, and I was like, "What are those numbers doing there?" And I deleted it, and then my armor class disappeared.
Right, I may have asked you a while back, do you want that? And you said yes,
Maybe.
and then we forgot about it.
Yeah,
So-
I'm sure.
A really long time ago.
Somebody will tell me. Adventure number 7.
Okay. All right, that's fixed. Anyone else who's got it linked like that, just let me know, and I'll fix it during the break or after the game. All right, so
I have it linked, but I don't. I kind of like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like mine.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah,
like if there's anything else that you want put in there that I can put in there, I can do that. But tell me during the break or after the session.
Yeah.
Braxon, so you can go ahead and heal yourself up, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
I just realized something that would help me is like a handout for my
just gonna
rogue
do that.
stats, so it's quicker
Okay.
to access.
I can
I
heal
mean, you can just-
myself up
You can just
before
write those down, though.
before I either get mullered or dragged into the water.
Yeah, because the one that lost its soft, squishy Lafdul target has moved to attack you.
If it can't come out, then why put yourself in danger?
So you're getting 2 watery fists coming at you, Braxon. First one, I'm gonna need a saving throw versus saving throw versus death, please.
Critted.
Okay.
Your armor would help on it. Let's say wrist stuff.
Armor, yeah, that's a save though. That's a save.
I've got 8 for that.
Yeah, 19 is like pretty much all.
You don't need to check if it's
Okay.
There would have to be really high penalties for that to be fail.
Yeah. Does Braxton know what that was an attempt to do?
You just got slapped, I think, really hard.
Yeah, you got a critical hit.
Right.
25 points of damage as the first wave smashes into you. Second
Lafdul's
one.
just like shaking his head as, oh, I bet that hurt.
Second one misses.
Yeah. That's why I told me to put the 5 hit points on first.
I hadn't rolled yet. But yeah, I knew that there was a pretty good chance of it hitting.
That's when we're making a save.
So the second one misses you, probably because the first one hit you. You just like stumbled back, kind of thing, as just this massive force of water slams into you.
I think Braxton might do a fighting retreat next round.
It makes sense if they're stuck in there.
that's like a third of his hit points in one go.
Do we have angle to shoot them?
Yeah. I mean, these things are towering out of the water now at this point.
They're growing out.
Well, I mean, it's like there was a pool of water, and then like not exactly columns, but waves of water that are moving under their own volition. Well over 10 feet tall, maybe up to 15 feet tall, because this is a pretty high-ceilinged room. Just rising up out of this pool, and one of them just like slammed into.
How big are their tentacles? Do I think their reach would be? Do I think they could fit 2 squares away?
Well, they don't. They like move like water. It's like.
Oh, it's a whole body. There's no like pseudopod or tentacles or anything.
Not
It's
really.
just slapping with the body.
Yeah. It's like the whole body moves in all kinds of weird and unnatural ways to slam into.
Oh well, I get a second attack.
Oh right.
I might get a few hit points back.
Yep.
I've inflicted a monster.
Right, I'll have another go at the one on the left because I know I hurt that one.
That's a hit. I think that's the same roll.
Yeah, I think it was. Right.
Exact same roll.
Let's see if I get the same roll here. No, lower roll.
All right, 9 points of damage as you slash into it. Oops.
Can Braxton say at the same time, as well as going, oof, he's going to go, Solas, get back.
Yep, you can say that.
Solas wants to be on the front line. He's feeling very brave lately.
He's got a lot of hit points. He
has.
Solas, when he decided what he was going to do, thought he was going to have a meat shield, but the meat shield decided to
turn you into the meat shield. No, I was using logic and reasoning. Your logic and reasoning is to get everyone expendable in front of you.
Hey, who are you calling expendable?
Solas, apparently.
Nah, I fully admit that my meat shield is not expendable any more than myself, but my mid shield is more capable of being there in the front lines.
I think in a way we are all expendable.
I am just holding. I'm holding here.
We
I
are
wanna
all
see if-
equally expendable.
Actually, I'm gonna.
Lever might disagree with that.
I am swapping to my shield, and I'm parrying, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Adding to my armor class, I guess, if it matters. So 99.
Oh yeah. Ald,
Mhm.
would I roll? Should I roll for the weapon for a fighting retreat or just a 3?
Just move 3.
Oh, I forgot to click on my token. What did I get? I got a 6.
Silly question. With Finn's bow, does he have separate strings for it, or is it always one and the same string? If it's magical.
The string is not magical. The bow is.
So you still have to restring the bows.
Yeah.
I always
Can you
wondered that, because he's got a flaming bow, so I was like, oh.
Maybe you can buy.
But he's got the scimitar out, so.
Maybe you
Yeah,
can,
no, I was just wondering.
maybe you can buy magical strings as well.
Well, Old did say about that I didn't know about with the elven bow. Say, are you buying any strange string as Old, a strange string? No.
I think I may have just been asking if you wanted something more unusual.
I don't know.
Alright.
To be honest.
We can
So,
discuss this later.
Braxon,
Uh-huh.
after that round, and this may actually affect you. I should have mentioned a second ago. You realize that every time you were slashing through the thing with your sword, it was like temporarily extinguishing the blade,
Right.
and like it reignited afterwards, but
Yeah. They made it of water, so
yeah.
he's going to press another button, but first he's going to retreat.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really think it does anything. It's just putting.
All right. Anyone
one
still need
damage.
to roll?
No, his sword goes out if he goes under the water. But
Okay.
I was.
Margoth says, Can these things actually leave the pool? Perhaps we should leave them be if they are hostile. She's actually backing off carefully. Finn is going to wait to see what you guys do. Braxon?
How much can Braxon move back with a fighting retreat?
Up
Just
to
one
a
square?
third of your movement.
Third of his movement.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't go that far. I'll go to here. Just try and cover other people.
All right.
And he's going to say, back off. Let's see if they can come out of the water.
Everyone make sure we close lines so Solas can't escape.
All right, Ockar, your turn.
These guys, can I?
Sorry, you broke up.
I can't get past these guys, can I, to try to get into the fight?
You can if you want to.
Yeah, you can move past your allies, but everyone's moving back, so...
We're just going to leave them be. If they can't get out, why risks dying, I guess.
Is
It's
this a dead end, or how
far
does
as we
the
can
room
tell.
I
look?
want to fight.
Okay. Let him
Alright.
fight by himself.
No, Lever's going to help him.
He's
I'm gonna
putting the
move
rest
it.
of
I'm
us
gonna
in
slash
danger.
at
though.
it.
All right.
I'm a warrior. A warrior fights.
Yeah, but... Paladin
Okay.
first.
That go is 9.
All right, that's a hit.
And give me a second.
Mhm.
I just need to double check how much my damage went up.
Yeah.
1820.
You might
I
be doing,
know. I need to compare it to what it was previously.
you might be doing 2 death saves in a minute.
Nah.
If old should be so lucky.
I do
Someone
have a
could predict-
reroll.
Someone could do a critical hit on you, can he?
Okay,
No, I think they can
right.
only do critical fumbles.
No.
Maybe they can. I don't remember. I have to look at the redemption.
Yeah. I think the critical hit was only to help us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Braxon will be dead by now.
All right, 16
I'd
points of damage.
I tell a bad pun and people will go, right, give him a critical hit.
All right, your blade slashes into this watery form, and you see like the water actually recede from the blade as it cuts, and only slowly reforms.
It worked.
Sun Fayun peeks around the corner and says, "These ruins are ancient. Doesn't this mean that these creatures are trapped here?"
Maybe. I'm trying to back off.
Pretty much. Hunters killing them.
Vordon is going to wait and see what you guys actually do and respond to that. Solas, your turn.
I'm moving here.
Okay, that's all you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
You see, I moved in to protect Solas, but I also just wanted to fight.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Solas
you
is
could,
really
you could do that and
appreciated.
then do a fighting retreat next round too, so.
We'll see how this goes.
Yep. Leva, your turn?
Leva casts Great Medicine on the two
Okay.
on this area.
Alright, let's see. Does level actually matter for that much?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. Just a second. I mean, not for the effect in
Yeah.
any case.
And they don't
Might
get
be
a
for
save,
duration.
so.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. They're going to shift over so that both of them can attack Ockar.
This is fine.
Is that
He
this
says
is fine?
it's
As in,
fine, but it's all of us expending our healing magic on him.
yeah. I'm wondering if he means this is fine, as in the cartoon where the room's on fire.
Or the... yeah.
Alright, both of them hit you, Ockar.
Oh, here it comes.
Not critical, though, so is that at least.
Let's see if he takes more damage than Braxon did.
Alright, from the
Considering both
first
of them, man.
one. First one hits you for 17 points of damage.
Ooh.
Yeah, ouch. So that's less than I took.
That's just in the first one.
Yeah.
And the second one hits you for 20 points of damage.
Ooh. Yeah, I think you need to
I
back
think
off.
everyone in the party is like, oh, I bet that hurt.
These two watery forms just slam into Ockar and kind of crush him between their watery bodies. You can,
Oh,
you
so
can
Grasping your head.
yeah, it's very much like oh, that had to hurt kind of thing, like wincing.
Yeah, Lafdul's cringing. It's like, oh,
Alright.
he's only done it to himself.
Second attack, Ockar.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I have a reroll, right?
You're gonna what? I'm sorry.
He's going to use a reroll, I think.
Okay.
Fishing.
All right, that will be your reroll used up.
I'm gonna be taking that 17
Yeah,
or 18.
yeah, that's a hit. All right, 16 points of damage. Okay, next round.
Leva will need the whole round to cast a spell. She's going to cast Still Water.
Okay, that will be. Are you casting from a scroll?
No,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
but it's only a level 1 spell.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, this is the first time I'm hearing of this spell.
Yep.
How long have you had it?
Forever, I would
Where
think.
is it? Where is it? Where is
Since,
it?
yeah, since whenever.
Yeah,
Is it
so
one of
set
your
yourself to
starting spells?
99.
Okay.
Where is it?
Lafdul's just, he's walking away.
Why aren't you fighting these things? That's experience.
That's not
You
what
don't
you
get
guys would be thinking. Like, this isn't.
Yeah.
Like-
I'm like, why aren't we even fighting these things? They're still monsters and they could get out of here.
No, they can't, because they would have.
We don't know if they can get out
Cowards.
of or no.
That's what I wanted to test out by stepping away from the edge to see if they could still hit me.
Well, Braxon already told everyone to back up.
Well, I had moved in to keep them from attacking souls again and slice them. That's my in-character reason.
Okay.
Yeah, Well, that was the wrong number, but yeah.
Anyone still need to roll?
Yeah, I'm.
I'm okay.
Mm,
Let me check something.
I can't pull Ockar backwards, can I?
You can, yeah.
You can.
Would he take attacks of opportunity for
No. Attacks of opportunity only come when you move, not when someone moves you or something else moves you. Like, if a spell pushed you back, you wouldn't get attacks of opportunity. So you don't have to worry about that. No. So if you pull them
it
back,
was +1. It was +1 for a cold shot.
yes. All right.
Are you
Anyone still need
using
to roll?
irregular? No. No.
Okay. Finn is heeding Braxon's advice. Lafdul?
He goes up, tries to drag Ockar back unless he resists me.
All right. Are you resisting being pulled back, Ockar?
Guess not.
Okay.
I'll pull him back at the time. I guess that'll be my movement. Unless I can do it more, but people are in the way, so I assume it's one time.
Yeah, I don't think you can do too much more than that. Genva's not doing anything. Margoth's not doing anything. Sun Fayun's not doing anything. Vordon taking the advice, moving back. All right, Ockar.
I guess I'll be moving back and swapping to my crossbow then, since I'm not gonna stop fighting. I'm just not gonna be in range.
All right. The creatures recede into the water.
Oh,
Oh, they have to be baited. Someone get a fishing pole.
All right, Braxon.
So just tie Lafdul to a rope.
Have
No. I wasn't
have they-
volunteering myself.
they've completely gone then.
As far as you cannot tell the difference between
Okay.
what they were and the water.
All right. Braxton's like pulls out his throwing axe and then just stands there and says, "Well, I guess we can't explore this unless we need to go through the water to get somewhere."
I don't see the wisdom in leaving
Which-
a thread like this here, even if they can't get out.
I don't think the Gravs need to come back to this place.
Oh no,
source.
it's potential risk to us. I mean, any of those hits could just kill us. You know, you
Yeah.
never know how a fight will go.
Yeah, I took a big slap from one of those things.
I mean, so did I,
Yeah.
but I still think it's in our
Well,
best case scenario to destroy them.
no, our primary objective is to secure this crystal sphere for the Gravs. If
Well-
we achieve that and they want us to come back here and clear this out, we can consider that. But unless the thing we need is below the water, in which case we got to go through those. We should search the rest of the complex.
I mean, I imagine it probably is something in there, but it's a case of prepare for it and deal with it appropriately.
Fine. But if
That's
this
probably.
this bites us in the ass, it's on your head, Braxton.
There's nothing on my head.
I'm gonna walk away and use lay on hands as my last words.
There's nothing on my head. If we need to come back here, we'll come back here.
Well, if we need,
Yeah, combat's not actually over. You guys were having some talk, but it was Solas' turn.
Yeah, since they receded, I can't really use my sling, so I will just back off.
All right. And Leva?
She's still going to cast a spell
Okay.
and see what happens.
Okay. Gets a saving throw versus spell.
Yes. Don't forget the -2.
Yep. I first need to do a level variation.
Mm-hmm. Did you do that for the medicine?
I did, yeah. That's why I
Okay.
asked whether
Oh, okay.
level variation actually matters for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got like a -3 or something like that. And then a saving throw versus spell.
Actually, she could do the contrary. Turbulence and make them angry so they come out again, bait them.
I mean, that's fully your decision.
No, it isn't, because as we decided long ago, I would have had to memorize turbulence instead of still water.
Yeah. All right. You don't actually know whether it worked or not, because the water was already pretty calm once they receded into it.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be a situation where someone would have to like go up and see what would happen. Like,
Seeing how much Ockar suffered, Leva doesn't dare to go close. She wouldn't survive.
Okay. So if you guys are, if no one's going to approach the water, then I will take you guys out of combat time.
No, Braxon's going to slowly step back as Ockar and Lafdul step back, and he's going to keep his eyes forward.
You could sort of step closer just a little bit to see whether they come out again or whether they stayed calm.
Do you really need me to?
It will be interesting to see.
Actually,
yeah, it'd be
I
interesting to see, but I
just
just
noticed
took
the time. We should probably take our break.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll see what the party wants to do. The NPCs may have some things to say as well now that you're out of combat time. We'll see what that might be when we come back in about 10 minutes, everyone. See you shortly.
See you on the other side.